reason the town is sort of about Charlestown is there was a culture of banditry in some ways in parts of Charlestown.
Offland.
There's a lot of history here, good and bad.
How you doing, I'm putting this whole fucking town in my rearview. There's people I can't let you walk away from.
I think people focus more on the bad.
A significant portion of the bank robberies done in Boston are perpetrated by folks from Charlestown.
Everyone knows everyone, especially in Charlestown.
See the fucking address on that? Bitch lives 4 blocks away from me. Fuck!
Everybody's related.
Can we go into your room? It's my uncle, the bus driver, lives right across the way, and he can see right in this apartment.
There's a really interesting code of silence. Nobody talked.
They give him the opportunity to walk scot-free if he gives up his friends. He tells them, suck a dick.
Everybody knew everything, but nobody said anything.
Charlestown, Charlestown.
Charlestown is a neighborhood in Boston, 1 square mile in area.
Where I grew up actually in Cambridge is right next to Charlestown. This is a place of really strong values and a lot of integrity. Charlestown sent more kids to World War II than any other square mile in the United States. It's also formerly home to the maximum security prison in Boston. Sacco and Vanzetti, Malcolm X was in prison in Charlestown, and so on.
Everybody lived around this prison were families of people inside the jail.
Max Sr. got life for the Nashua job, which most of you should remember. When Craig came home, got into the family business.
Armed car, bank robbing sort of became like a trade there. One of the theories about why was this prison was there, and so it served as this kind of recycling area where people would go to the prison and prisoners' families would move next door. This sort of community developed.
I heard a bread truck got dropped.
Oh yeah? I didn't hear about it.
Okay.
People would learn these tricks and pass them on and move out and teach them in the community and go back to prison.
I can see your daddy's faces in you, all of you.
The thing that really surprised me initially about Charlestown is it's incredibly beautiful. It looks out of some sort of BBC period adaptation of a Dickens novel. I mean, it really does. All cobbled streets and beautiful lamps. It's really, really stunning. I mean, anyone would want to live there. And yet it's got this really sort of mixed demographic of people that live there.
Cool, just read what's on the paper.
Charlestown, I think, is a place definitely where people have gone through a lot of struggles over the years.
People who grow up here definitely have a chip on their shoulder. People will judge it right off the top.
Jeez, what the fuck is it with you guys in Charlestown? Don't they teach you how to read? Come on, let's go. There's things here, read them.
They might think you're a punk or something, like somebody who's up to no good.
Definitely not to say that everyone in Charlestown is a bank robber or a crook, but everyone I've ever known from Charlestown, kids that I grew up with, all had that same kind of hustler's mentality.
Every peewee in the town knows what an FBI rear antenna looks like. So in the future, you guys can try to be slicker than a 6-year-old.
Anywhere we have 1 square mile with about 20,000 people living on top of each other, that's definitely unique.
I'm thinking about taking a trip, making a change.
Yeah, don't tell me. Making a change.
People don't really leave Charlestown. This older woman was talking to the group I was with, and she was like, oh, I had to move back. I missed it so much. And I said, oh, where did you live? And she's like, oh, I live about 10 minutes out. And it was crazy to me. Living in Los Angeles 10 minutes away is in the same neighborhood, but she couldn't take it 10 minutes away. She had to be back in Charlestown.
I grew up here my whole life, and I mean, I wouldn't want to grow up anywhere else.
We say there's a very fine line in Charlestown between law enforcement and people on the other side of the law.
There were definitely a lot of police officers, FBI agents that came out of there. Some of them ended up moving away from Charlestown because they didn't want to be put in a position of having to put away folks that, you know, were in the neighborhood with them, that grew up with. For a long time in the 80s and 90s, they could not get a murder conviction. You could be killed in the middle of the street and no one would testify. It was a very, very rough place, but also a place of a very strong kind of community. Gentrification sort of came in and changed the composition of it and sort of broke that up.
All these yuppies down here, they think there's no more serious white people in Charlestown, so they can fucking talk shit? Huh.
It's dissipated somewhat, but there's still a bit of that culture of bank robbing where it was kind of accepted that's still kind of present there.
Say your prayers. Here we go.